Hi, WFMers out there. I'm your host, Irina Mateeva, and this is WFM Unfiltered, a podcast by RightWFM, the place where we share the truth about workforce management. So get comfortable and listen closely. Hi, everyone, and welcome to WFM Unfiltered, the podcast by RightWFM. I'm your host, Irina Mateeva, and we have incredible and very interesting topic today. It's one of my personal irritations as well, because exactly like you, I have worked with a lot of the biggest consulting companies, and a lot of the times their approach is, you know what, we're going to get someone without experience. We're going to slap the title of expert. We're going to charge a shitload of money for that person. And the worst part is that when that person goes to teach companies how to do stuff, it ends up absolute disaster. But marketing sells, it is like that, because you're looking at the name, you're thinking, oh my God, they're charging so much money. They must know what they're talking about. Um, I mean, let's be honest about it. If companies want someone to do the work, and I'm not saying that all of them are like that, they're incredible specialists in every single company. But I always say, look for practitioners that have done the job. Don't look for just someone with the title consultant or expert or specialist, because everyone can be expert right now on LinkedIn, everywhere else. Just ask what the background of the person that you're working with is, and then assess for yourself whether you're willing to pay for that or not.
I was interviewed by, I was set up to do a call with someone. This was I think it's about 6 or 7 months ago. Now, I actually don't give a damn whether you're 16 or actually 100.
Mm.
Is I take people at face values, and you know, I I think it's a difficult one, because you know I I have no problem about ages whatsoever, but I was being interviewed by, I think he was 21,
Mhm.
and I asked him, I said, "So what are you doing?" And he told me, he said that I'm here, I'm guiding outsource companies on who they should use for outsourcing. And I'm kind of like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
you're 21. Right,
Yes.
okay." I've done that for people. And I've also been on the outsourcer side, for looking for outsourcers and research the marketplace. It is not difficult. What I had to help with was my knowledge and experience of what I had done for years of running contact centers. So I knew what I was looking for. So I found it very, very odd that I was being questioned by someone who also hadn't done any research on my background whatsoever,
Mhm.
and asked me the oddest questions. And so, so my point about the age things, no, it doesn't come into it, but it means you need to go and do research, hands-on research, and really, really understand what is going on, in the marketplace and how things are done. I mean, some of the really amazing people that I've known, have been out there for many, many years, have done all different levels of roles within different organizations, up to kind of heading massive big contact centers. Now, they know the pitfalls. Well, they know the ups, they know the downs, they know all the problems. So these are the people that you should be speaking to. Um, I just find it, quite a difficult one out there at the moment. Is again, going back to everyone's an expert, and we have a major problem. So I think you need to start looking at the people out there who actually understand all the different elements tagged together, because this isn't about HR, split. Let's look at it. Recruitment, training, IT, compliance, operations itself. Every single thing has a link to each other.
Mhm.
So look at people who understand the full end-to-end journey of all of that. Not just at times people that are very specific about one segment, because the problem is they will look at it from a view of what they
Out there.
understand.
Yeah.
They won't look at it from a helicopter view of how all of it melds together. Like going back to my favorite thing that I always talked about was a thing called centralarchy.
Mhm.
Because I never ever, I used to argue massively against people. It's like lots of people have called me a disruptor, and I'm not sure if I even like that name because so many people are putting it on LinkedIn now that I'm a disruptor.
Do you know what is one of my personal favorite irritations that I genuinely have hard time coping with is, and on the subject of being expert and specialist and number one best influence out there, is when theory meets practice. So a lot of people know a lot of stuff on theory and they have some kind of founded opinion about the stuff that they have absolutely never done. And when I get to speak with these people, and the number one thing that also annoys me with bringing it back to the conversation about age, I've been confronted on subject matter topics a lot of time where the argument of the other person is, I've been in the industry for 20 years. Well, that's amazing. That's great. Congratulations. But we're discussing something specific here. What's your opinion and how does your 20 years practically correlate to the topic that we're discussing? And I find that this is so often thrown out there that I'm an expert because I've been in that job for 20 years. For me, that means nothing. It can mean everything. But unless I see your results, I don't care if you have worked in that 75 years. That doesn't mean that you're genuinely good in what you're doing. It just means that you've been there on that function for a long time. And yeah, the other thing is, and people are using it very smart right now, is they're using the titles of expert and specialist to trend more because a lot of recruiters out there are looking for these key phrases. And at the moment they see expert, it's like, oh, wow, well, we need to speak with them. And I actually am planning another interview with the recruiter exactly of what you mentioned, because I have been reached out so many times by recruiters who are actually offending me with their offers. And previously I was replying to everyone. Now I even choose not to reply to some because, first of all, they're suggesting jobs that I don't have the skill set for at all. And just a single glance at my resume will show you, if you know that you're doing, that I am not the right person that you should lose your time with. But second of all, okay, let's face it, I'm a business owner. It's very clearly stated that I'm founder in my LinkedIn. And I'm introduced to do what is it, temporary entry level roles in that I might not even be suitable with my skill set for, just because I have not listed, expert or real time specialist on my background. And I
I
think
think
for the
it's sad. I just find it very, very sad is that um, organizations and recruitment companies are actually taken in by the fact of having the word expert on there. But also the fact is, if you've got a degree and it says expert, then it's a thumbs up. And just a little story that a number of years ago, I was looking for a job and I was contacted by a recruitment company and said, this insurance company wants to talk to you. Are you happy for your CV to go forward to them? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And it was for an ops director's role. I looked at it and went, yeah, matches completely with what I've done. Um, Never worked directly for an insurance company, but the amount of outsourcing that I've done for insurance companies, which will be at least 10 or more different insurance companies. And it's been fine. And they went, oh, the director absolutely adores you, wants to interview you, absolutely. So 3 days later, not heard anything, contacted them, and they went, ah, right. You're not going to be interviewed on the first stage. And I kind of went, well, thought the director absolutely adored me. Thought everything matched up absolutely perfectly. You don't have a degree. If, he doesn't find someone on the first stage, he will interview on the second stage, because he's looked at your stuff and actually said your CV and what you've done is actually the best out of it all. So I went, I would like my application withdrawn immediately. And they went, oh, no, don't do that. Because, he may not like any of them. And I went, well, I actually don't give a damn, because I don't want to work for an organization that is basically stating that I don't have the skill sets because I don't have a degree behind me. Now, nothing wrong with anyone's got a degree. I've hired a vast amount of people over the years, some absolutely amazing with the degree, some absolutely really not that good. But again, without people without degrees, I've hired amazing people and ones that haven't been so good either. So the whole point is that, you shouldn't judge a book by a cover. And let's also say, you started this with theory and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Theory comes from a book.
Mm-hmm.
An individual writes a book. So it's an individual's opinion, that theory. So what you would have to do is read a hell of a lot of different people's books to be able to understand what theory might be right or mightn't be right. Because if you have a look at it, I know quite a number of people who've written books
Mm-hmm.
that actually I think they're a load of crap. Because when you actually get in to doing the work, it is different. And to be honest, you can throw their theory out of the window. But again, it's their perception that that theory is correct. So the whole point is that, you can read it and go, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'm going to follow that and I'm going to do that. And then it can fail. But the whole point is you can blame it on the person who wrote the book
Mm-hmm.
or that theory. Whereas I always like to work on the fact of analyze your information, understand what the environment is, what's the nuance, what are you actually looking at? Take every segment, understand it, see what the problem is, dig down, and then dig even deeper. What is the actual root cause? Then get a bunch of people around, go, right, what are we going to do? Let's look at this. And then actually talk through the solution to actually solve what the actual problem is. Not run away and go and have a look at the book and see what the theory actually might stipulate.
I'm getting so annoyed by that. Honestly, so freaking annoyed right now, because I think, unfortunately, we're currently in a situation with a bunch of layoffs and people being desperate for jobs. So a lot of people out there are just desperate for income. So naturally, they're going to get maybe even a job that's kind of lower compared to their expertise, just so they can secure income. And a lot of companies are actually effectively taking advantage of the situation right now to play with salaries and what have you. But on top of that, there is also the concept of, at least in WFM certificates, that is something very, very new. that is many companies that are providing certificates on the back of the training. I have reviewed some trainings are utter crap, bullshit, shit. I would never actually train someone in that same way. And I think a lot of the information out there is completely outdated and it's not going to serve you. But I have gotten so many recruiters coming out to me to say, well, do you have a certificate for blah, blah, blah? Like, no, but my entire background, like I have results, I have people on very high positions in different industries that can vouch for my expertise. Oh no, I'm sorry if you don't have that certificate that's literally created 1 year ago like for commercial purposes. Nobody is giving you a certificate for free, let's face it. I don't stand the chance. And I know a lot of people out there who are absolutely incredible professionals who are really worth their weight in gold in WFM will be disqualified by recruiters or by companies because they don't have a bullshit certificate that will give you not much. And for some people, it's a very good start if they don't have the background, in WFM. So at least it can give them some sort of foundation and kind of framework what to expect. Seriously, come on. We should do better. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Irina Mateeva, founder of RightWFM, where we believe that every business and its people are unique and deserve the right solution to their challenges. If you need support with workforce management, we're just a message away. Get in touch at irina@rightwfm.com or info@rightwfm.com. If you like the content and would like to support the show, please subscribe to WFM Unfiltered on your favorite podcast platform, leave a review, and follow me on LinkedIn. You can also show some love to our great sponsors. For more information about them, check out the episode notes. This is your place for real WFM, so to suggest guests or topics, get in touch at irina@rightwfm.com. See ya!